Hey there, welcome to the Eurostat, a Milwaukee Bucks podcast, proudly a part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network and GSPN, and presented by our pals at Prize Picks. I am Ty Windisch, joined as always by I was going to say innumerable, but there is just one Rohan Katti. You're very numerable. You're the one Rohan Katti in my book. How's it going, Rohan?
You know, I'm doing well. My last name is actually pretty uncommon. There's a million Rohans out there.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's that combination.
Right, exactly. That's the thing.
That makes me numerable, I guess.
You're numerable.
I'll take that.
One of one. And happy Tight Ends Day. As we were discussing right before the pod, apparently every freaking day. I swear there's been more than one Tight Ends Day this
It's already happened
season.
this year. I swear it's already happened this year.
Yeah, it's probably again today. Reason,
yeah. Do you know next week is National Tight Ends Day?
Where's National Left Guard Day?
Give me National Free Safety Day.
Yeah. National Nickel Quarter Day's not catching on. I keep trying, but no one's interested in honoring the nickel package specialists. Anyway, that's enough football talk.
National Defensive Tackle Day.
Yeah, that would be a great day. Everyone just eats. The nice win for the Packers. Check out Talk of the Tundra for more on the Rodgers Revenge Bowl that wasn't. But we had a pretty fun weekend of Bucks basketball, Rohan.
We're fully back, Ty.
We're fully back. And we're also going to later in the show pick. This is going to be a thing on our Monday pods. We're going to record Monday morning every week, and then do another pod later in the week. This week will be sometime after Bucks Knicks, recapping that big game. But we're going to pick the Eastern Conference Player of the Week every week. So I don't think people are going to be holding their breath to see who we pick for this week, but we'll get there. First, though, where do you want to start? You want to quickly recap the games here that the Milwaukee had, and then dive into what we've noticed in them?
Yeah, let's talk about that. I think it's a good way to go about it, especially since it's such a young season still.
Yeah.
I mean, first starting with that Raptors game, it was a tough battle. Again, you have Kevin Porter Jr., he missed his game. This game, he also missed the Cavaliers game. We'll see what his status is for the Tuesday's game against the Knicks, but that is yet to be seen. But so the Bucks were already shorthanded at point guard, and you get into a battle with, we joke all the time about how the Raptors have just built a roster of just like 6'6", 6'7" guys and just expect them to do anything out there. But the one thing they can do is defend. Yeah. and that is what the Raptors are going to build and like just have their identity as is a strong defensive team that's athletic, that's quick. And they really showcased that ability. This was a tough, hard-fought basketball game that the Bucks needed to go out there and pull out. It was it was a struggle at times to get some offensive rhythm going, but it's not difficult if your name is Giannis Antetokounmpo. And that proved time and time again how this team, as always, but even more this year than in previous years, is just so reliant on Giannis, and is just if he's on, the rest of the team is going to be on. Even though there was a cast of characters around Giannis who were playing somewhat well, a lot of guys did not show up, but the guys who did made that important difference to be able to put the Bucks over the top as they get a 122-116 kind of comeback win. They were never really winning that often in that game, but they were able to put pedal to the metal in the fourth and get that W.
Yeah, it was a professional win. It was the Raptors' home opener, and the crowd there was hyped because it was also game one of the World Series for the Toronto Blue Jays. Same town, same night. The Blue Jays had a nice win. Of course, they didn't know that at the time.
They were street. They were just a few blocks
away. Yeah, so it was like one of those, and they were doing a Blue Jays watch party after the game, so the fans weren't encouraged to not leave, kind of stick around there, and Toronto fans are pretty rabid, and there was, strong sentiment about the Raptors as well. They had a really nice, I think, I called it a statement win. Their first game, they went into Atlanta and kind of trounced the Hawks, and the Hawks were a pretty hyped up team for this season, and Toronto went and beat them. So now home opener, Bucks coming to town. Obviously, most people thinking the Bucks are taking a step back, and Milwaukee, to your point, really just kind of hung around. Then in the fourth quarter, Giannis and company gets it done. I think this is a good time to talk about Cole Anthony, who was another player who missed that Cavaliers game. So the Bucks were down two of their 3-point guards.
With a non-COVID illness.
He also missed shoot-around that day, so it seems like he just came down with it, didn't want to get the team sick. So we'll see for his status as well on Tuesday. I'm hoping at least one of those two is back because it's so funny. We're like, oh, why'd they sign a third point guard? This is too many points. And then immediately like, oh, we don't have enough point guards. We needed a fourth point guard. And they tried
Mark
to add
Sears, save us, please. Spoiler alert, he didn't.
He didn't. We'll get there. But Cole Anthony against the Raptors, 23 points, 9 of 14 from the field, 2 of 5 from deep, got 7 free throws, missed 4 of them. Kind of a concerning missed free throws thing, but thankfully the Raptors missed a lot too. Also added 7 assists, 2 steals, 4 rebounds, and only 1 turnover in his 26 minutes of action. So, one thing to note here too is so Rollins started with KPJ out. Rollins had kind of an uneven game, did have 3 steals, continues to deflect the hell out of the basketball, but wasn't as effective offensively against Toronto. And Doc just goes with the hot hand and plays Anthony down the stretch in the fourth quarter. I think that's the right way to approach this whole team. And I think we saw that. We'll talk a little bit about the Cavs game as well, but Taurean Prince closing over Gary Trent Jr. There was a little bit more, I think, people upset about that one, but Gary Trent Jr. just was not knocking down shots against the Cavs the way he did against the Raptors, where he had 20 points in his revenge game plus 4 assists. And I don't have an issue with that. I think this whole team is like Giannis and friends. Like, that is the idea. Play the guys who are playing well. I'm okay with doing that. And Anthony certainly earned it and had a great game on Friday. Such a bummer that he immediately gets sick, because I really do like the Bucks' chances in Cleveland with Anthony as well, considering Garland and Max Strus were out too, but Hunter did come back.
Yeah, I'm going to out myself a little bit and just disparage myself, but Cole Anthony, just ridiculous. You and I, we didn't do an IPO pod this year. We forgot.
Yeah, we just did it on text. Yeah.
Yeah. I generally agreed with everything, but then I was like, you know what? I don't think Cole Anthony should be this high.
Yeah, so I think I basically just grouped everyone together. I made Giannis 50, which I think is probably a record for starting a player. But I was like, you know what? He is really just that much higher than everyone else. So these are the IPOs for Bucks Stock Market. If you're unaware, follow at Eurostat Podcast. Every single Bucks game, we grade the Bucks by basically saying whose stock rose, whose stock fell. And to make it more realistic, I think the first year we started everyone at 1 and just started doing it. I don't even know if we tracked it. We didn't even track it right away. Now we do IPO. So Giannis is at 50, obviously the largest. Myles Turner, 25. Trent Green, KPJ, and Portis at 20. Portis has not remained at 20. Ryan Rollins at 18. So pretty much all the starters and Bobby at 20, except Turner, who I think is pretty consensus the second best player on the team. Rollins 18, just below. Then Kuzma, Prince, and I suggested 15 for Cole Anthony. So each of those guys would be at 15. And Rohan said, no, too high. So we bumped him down to 12. He got himself back to 15 now immediately. So Cole Anthony being the change he wants to see in the world. And then we have Amir Coffey, Andre Jackson Jr., Jericho Sims all at 8. Thanasis at 4. Pete Nance at 3. Our guy, a weirdly high two-way. Gary Harris, Alex Antetokounmpo, Mark Sears all at 1. And then Doc Rivers is also at 3. And then Horst is the average of all spots, because we think that's the only way to grade a general manager. So he started at 13.8. He's up to 14.1 now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's Cole Anthony's just proven me wrong, man. I feel like
he's
everyone
a spark plug.
Yeah, he's really showcasing his ability, especially when they were down a point guard, right? And even when they only when they've been down point guards. I forgot KPJ just got hurt immediately. Yeah,
he had the. I mean, I think he would have felt, but he had foul trouble in the first game, so he just didn't play much. I mean, that game they didn't feel as down a point guard as they have the last two. But yeah, I think it's pretty significant, the injuries. Like, it's easy to say, like, oh, the Cavs didn't have Darius Garland. Like, that's a bigger deal. I think the Raptors, I mean, no one you're too familiar with, but their rookie, Colin Murray Boyles, didn't play, and everyone's excited about him. So I think it's easy to say.
Hepburn didn't play, Ty?
Okay. Wow. Is he on a two-way?
I think so, yeah.
I was going to, Jesus Christ. He's a future Herd player right there. But it's easy to say, oh, the Bucks, they're down guys that aren't on the same level as Garland and whatever else. And that's fair. I mean, Darius Garland's a big one. But being down 2 point guards when you're already a team that's like pretty low on shot creation is a big deal. And I do think it is a moral victory, the fact that they ended up being close in this next game against the Cavaliers on Sunday evening. Even though they were down 2 point guards, they were also down Kyle Kuzma, which definitely makes a difference in trying to guard Evan Mobley, who had a pretty good game, although was in foul trouble. And they had a rough game from Gary Trent Jr. and Ryan Rollins from 3. Those two combined to be 2 for 12 for the evening. So even though the Bucks did shoot 39%, the Cavs did not shoot the 3-ball well. I think there was still quite a few things going against the Bucks, but when you have one big thing going for you. Giannis had 40 points, 14 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, only 2 turnovers in 33 minutes. I mean, best in the world.
Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the types of numbers that we're seeing from Giannis this season, I feel like rightfully so, are getting more attention, even though it's kind of around his averages in the last year. So,
yeah.
It's just ridiculous. I think the important thing is that the Bucks are doing this, or he's doing this while this team is actually competitive. And that was the big thing, right? Is this team actually going to be good? We know Giannis is going to be Giannis. He's going to be able to put up historic numbers and play best in the world level basketball, which he definitely has been this year. Even though it's been like a weirdly, like the start of the season has been wildly inflated. I feel like Austin Reeves had 50. Like,
yeah, I mean, Luka, Wembanyama, like there's a lot of pretty insane number. I mean, Aaron Gordon had 50.
Which is crazier, Aaron Gordon having 50
Aaron
or
Gordon.
Austin Reeves?
Aaron Gordon. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, that is true. But even though we've been seeing just these wildly inflated numbers to start the season, this Giannis stuff actually feels sustainable.
Yeah.
Because he's doing this and they are winning games because of the guys around him.
Here's from @NBA History, an official account. Giannis Antetokounmpo becomes the first player in NBA history to open a season with 100-plus points, 40-plus rebounds, and 15-plus assists through his first 3 games. So no one has ever done that through 3 games, even apparently Wembanyama this season. Pretty good for Giannis. Continues to make history. And to your point about sustainability, there's been some griping, I think, online about how the long stretches where Giannis sits and the bench plays. 2 of the 3 games, the Bucks have been slight positive or neutral. They were neutral against the Cavs somehow, and I think they barely won the Wizards minutes with Giannis sitting. They did lose the Raptors minutes by quite a bit. But I actually think it's a good thing. Giannis is not being pushed to the limit to try and win October games. He played 37 and a half minutes against Toronto, which is a bit much, but then was limited to 33 minutes against Cleveland despite only having 1 foul. I am totally fine with Giannis averaging in like the low to mid 30s on minutes per game and do not think there's any world where he should be averaging like 39 minutes. The way he plays, it's just, I don't think it's possible for him to go full Jokic and just like, oh, I'll play 42 minutes and like cover 1 mile the whole game. He needs to be the dominant physical force to be his true self. I don't think he's gotten to that level yet or figured it out or wants to just like, I'll just post up and let guys move around me and just shoot.
Yeah, I'll just go be lazy out there.
Yeah, no. I mean, pretty much.
This isn't anything. It's not anything new, right?
No.
We've been seeing this with Giannis for years now, and those gripes have existed for years now. It's like, oh, why is Giannis even? Is he actually that in shape and stuff like that? If he can't do, it's like, what are we doing here? I don't
People
know.
Who don't watch
it's the same stuff, different year.
Through 3 games, it's his fewest minutes per game since the Adrian Griffin season. So he's at about 33 minutes per game.
2 years.
Yeah.
Like it's not like that far removed.
Well, it's a trend worth watching.
It is, and I think it's good, right?
How about this way? Put it this way: it's less than he's ever played under Doc Rivers before.
Okay, sure, I'll take that.
Yeah,
I think it's a good trend. It's early in the season. You know how important he is to this team. Why wear him out?
Yeah, and I mean, they're in every game and winning 2 of the games, even with him doing that. So it's clearly something that can work for the Bucks, even with their injury issues. So the Cavs game, the Bucks do end up losing 118-113. This was a weird game because I think, again, it was like I hate the idea of a moral victory or whatever, but I do think that. Wait, I think no, never mind. I do think, though, that this was a game where, without the point guards and everything, at Cleveland, who even with the injuries, everyone, like Cleveland's a juggernaut. They just win a lot of games. They were the 1 seed in the East last year and one of the top 2 projected teams this year. You can do the moral victory thing. I do think it's a good sign the Bucks were close, but it was weirdly frustrating to me because it didn't feel like, oh, they were close and they just didn't have quite enough and that's why they lost. Like, they had opportunities to take the lead in the late 3rd when Giannis sat, and I think the middle of the 4th as well. And then they even got it to a tie a couple of times. And then immediately, like, bad turnover out of bounds, like missed wide open three from a good shooter who's like not made very many in the game. Like it wasn't like they were like, oh, they gave it their best punch and the Cavs were just better. Actually, both teams kind of sucked down the stretch. The Bucks just were too far behind to actually get back in it. But again, like were they down 2, I think, and AJ hits that ridiculous 3 with like a couple seconds left. And it's like, oh my God, if Mobley misses a free throw, and he just didn't, and they lost. But I don't know. What were your thoughts?
They had multiple opportunities to take the lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but it's like,
and they just didn't. I mean,
Bobby Portis just totally lost in semi-transition defense. Like all the things you're just like, come on, like just execute for AJ 2 minutes.
Just lost the ball out of bounds, trying to dribble, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, like you just can't. I mean, he doesn't have to be a playmaker. He's not a playmaker, but you can't do stuff like that.
Yeah, you just have to be able to dribble a basketball.
Why do we keep throwing the ball to Taurean Prince?
It's better than AJ.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, this is, again, you just don't have enough. I think Doc would probably ideally like to play 2 of those guards a lot of the time and just has not had the ability to do so basically at any point throughout the season. I think the playmaking thing stood out, though, the guard injuries. You look at the assist totals for this game. Giannis had 9. Rollins had 8. Nobody else had more than 2. And the Bucks had, 25 total assists, so 17 of the 25 were those 2 players, and then nobody else could really keep it going or have a strong assist-to-turnover ratio. Even Kuzma, like for, all the Kuzma of it all, like that is a player who we've seen has probably been the best non-point guard or best non-Giannis or point guard, like assist generator on the team. So without 2 point guards in Kuzma, you just don't have enough ball movement. I mean, the offense was really ugly to watch through a lot of this one.
Yeah, it was. And credit a lot of that to the Cavaliers, obviously, because they are a great defense. But also, it just seemed like the Bucks were getting in their own way a lot. And I think that's what you're trying to get at.
Yeah.
And it just didn't look like there was any consistent offensive flow. And that's what happens when you already don't have a strong point guard room. All right, I guess they do have a strong point guard room, but
they're
most
not
of them
available.
are not playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just not playing. And that's tough. That's really tough. When you get a slew of injuries to one position specifically, and one that is vitally important to this team with that is currently constructed. But yeah, it just seemed like a game where the Bucks could never really get over the hump. They managed to lock in and go on a 21-5 run to end the third quarter, and just find their way back into this game in the middle of the third. I was like, okay, this is probably over.
Oh yeah, I think, and that was the moment of the game. So Giannis went superhuman, hits another 3, which I think he's like, he's 4 of 6 or something.
Yeah,
I think he's 4 of 6 this year, which is, I mean, we'll watch it. I don't know I'm not factoring it yet, but he looks comfortable taking them. We'll see.
You don't think he's going to shoot what is that, 2/3, 66.7% from 3 this season?
I mean, if he shoots 35% from 3, like there's really just no absolute way to guard him at all. And I would definitely take that. But he probably did he do that as one of his first? I actually have his.
Let me check.
I think I have his year-over-year stats up somewhere. But whatever. We're not going to talk that much about. No, that would be a career high by a lot. 34.7 his rookie year is his past right now.
Nice.
22% last year. What do you think? Is it? Oh, sorry, no. I wanted to make this point. Giannis goes superhuman, makes a 3, takes the ball away from someone, dunks, like just doing everything. And then Giannis sits. I think they were down 6 when he sat. And the Bucks won the next 3 minutes. I think they were down 2 to start the fourth quarter. And it was one of those moments where you're like, okay, immediately when Giannis goes to check out with 3 minutes left in the third, you're like, this is if they have a chance or not is going to come down to these 3 minutes. Like if you hold it at 6 or better, you have a shot to win the game. But if the Cavaliers, I kind of thought, okay, they might just push it to 15, the game might just be over. Good fight by the Bucks. And they did the same thing in the middle of the fourth quarter. Giannis checks out to get a couple of minutes breather. I think around the 8-minute mark. I think he sat until around the 5-minute mark. And the bench unit, again, with only 1 point guard available, actually got it down to tied in the fourth quarter, but then when it went back to 5, they just couldn't hold it. That was, I think, one of the green turnovers you talked about, and just some really missed open shots and opportunities. And then Giannis comes back in, and again, it's close from there. But if they could have kept it a tie by the time Giannis came back, I really think they win this game. And again, to the point of just things not going their way, the Cavs did not shoot the ball well. They were 30% on 43s, which is probably not sustainable. Although Merrill did light it up. But Gary Trent Jr., uncharacteristic game after being really good through the first two. He was 2 of 9 with 2 assists and a turnover, a minus 23 in 28 and a half minutes, just really could not get it going offensively. And again, if you're the Bucks, it's like, okay, Kevin Porter Jr.'s out, Cole Anthony's out, Kyle Kuzma's out. We have Rollins, who I think had a really nice bounce-back offensive game, but we need that other player to do a little bit more on offense. And Gary tried, but it just did not have it against the Cavs.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, especially when a spark plug from the previous game was also out.
Yeah,
in Cole Anthony, where we've talked a lot about how it's just the next man up. It's whoever's night it is. It's going to be it could be a variety of different people. Usually, it's going to end up being Trent. I feel like, but it clearly wasn't against the Cavaliers. I mean, AJ ended up with 20, so it was kind of his night a little bit. But when you're missing guys like KPJ, like Cole Anthony, like Kyle Kuzma, the amount of guys who it can be their night dwindles. There's only a certain amount of players who it could be. It's not going to be Torian Prince's night. I mean, it could be some nights, but probably not. It's not going to be Jericho Sims' night.
Torian thinks it's going to be. His
he
night.
Always thinks it.
Yeah,
he always thinks it's going to be his night. It wasn't Myles Turner's night, which is unfortunate and a little different.
I was ready to put him on a milk carton. He had a really good, I think, second half on both ends. And especially, I mean, defensively, he had some great moments. But he ends up with 13 points. He had like 4 points going into the fourth, maybe? Like, really came through late with some huge buckets. But just the threes have not consistently fallen. I will say I'm not worried about it. I think in preseason, he looked like an offensive weapon. I think it's just kind of a slow shooting start for him. But yeah, they definitely needed more from him, too. I mean, almost every player who played, except for Giannis, you're like, yeah, really needed more from that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like, not trying to excuse, but, it's 3 games in.
Yeah.
These things are going to figure itself out. A career, not career, but shot 40% from 3 last year. Showed that he could be a good shooter.
Yeah. Not
really worried about it at all. His defense is otherworldly, which is very important. Like, I think people are starting to miss that point a little bit. And it's like, you can't score against the Giannis Turner front court. Like, they've been just an incredible defensive pairing. So just keep that in mind. +1
in 31 minutes. So still had, part of a unit that was effective. I think the starters remained pretty good, except for Trent was rough in this game. Some of the bench lineups have been a problem. I want to, before we get to the bench guys, talk about Rollins, who felt a little overtaxed against the Raptors. Ended up 5 of 11, which is solid, but had only 2 assists to 3 turnovers, which when you're the starting point guard, even though Giannis does so much ball handling, you just have to be better than that. I think he really was against the Cavs. He had 14 points, his 3 ball not falling, but he was 4 of 9 from 2. Had an amazing dunk where it was going to be a turnover, and he just grabbed the ball back and absolutely yanned it home. Has had some really tough finishes. I think maybe a player who just should go to the basket more because is really good at finishing there. But had 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, and just 2 turnovers. That's high-quality play, and he was definitely one of the reasons, along with Giannis and I'd say AJ Green. Those were kind of the 3 bright spots of like players who were like keeping the offense going at all in a game where otherwise it just was kind of non-functional.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate to see the shooting not be there for Rollins.
Yeah.
Especially after such a good shooting season last year, even with the shoulder issue.
Maybe he needs to get it knocked out of place again.
Maybe they fixed it too well.
Yeah. He's like, this doesn't feel right. I should feel my arm kind of almost fly off every time I let one go. Where did that go?
It should hurt badly every time I shoot a basketball.
Ryan Rollins, noted masochist. Allegedly. Not even allegedly. Just a joke.
Ryan Rollins, come on the pod. Tell us wrong.
Yeah. It's okay if you are, too. Whatever. Put the ball in the hoop.
Don't say anything, man.
Yeah.
And he keeps putting the ball in the hoop around the rim, man. Like, some of the finishes that he has are incredible. Like, there's a couple times late in that Cavaliers game, and sometimes in the Raptors game as well, where they would go to like a Rollins Giannis 2-man pick and roll, and it's like, okay, the defense is kind of shading really towards Ryan Rollins. He should probably throw it up because Giannis will probably be able to catch that lob if you throw it high enough over the defenders. But he just goes up strong, goes to the basket, and I'm like, he's trying to lay that up, and it goes in, and I'm like, I didn't know he had that in him. There are a lot of times like that. Like, the finishing skill around the rim is really, really stood out to me for Rollins. So he should attack attack more. He should not just be, a stand in the corner type of guy, especially because you need more shot creation. And it's been a pleasant surprise.
It has been. I will say, to your point,
to quote John Wall, I ain't seen you never ever act like this before.
I do think he probably should pass to Giannis more though, and I do think awesome. you see moments in the game. Yeah, well, you see moments in the game like Giannis is driving and he doesn't pass to Rollins in the corner. Rollins is driving and doesn't throw it up to Giannis. I do think that's sneakily maybe the differentiator for why KPJ got the starting nod is immediately those two really clicked on pick and roll chemistry, and KPJ will like always try to throw the lob to Giannis, and not many other. Rollins has gotten him on some out of bounds plays. Like when it's scripted, he's gotten it to him, but I think on pick and rolls, he could probably do a better job of that. But still, it is nice that he can finish at the rim. That is a nice second option, and again, it bodes well for when he does go back to the bench, when him just being able to get to the rim there, not playing with Giannis. Okay, we're going to cover more players, go through everything, do our Eastern Conference Player of the Week, and talk about Bucks Knicks upcoming. But first, let's talk about our friends for Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports platform where you can use stacks to pick the same players' projections in multiple fields. You can go across sports. You could say Jordan Love and Giannis Antetokounmpo if you wanted to. Let's say that was a popular one, I'm sure, on Sunday as both of those guys played. But I'm on a little bit of a heater here. I'm 3 for 3 on flex plays this season. 2 of them, I hit all of my picks. 1 of them, I missed one. But since it was a flex play, that's still a win. So for the Bucks-Cavs game, I had A.J. Green more than 8.5 points. I will tell you right now, I've had that on all 3 of my plays, and A.J. Green has had more than 8.5 points every single time. I'm sure there will be a time when he doesn't, but I'm just like, yeah, A.J. Green will make 3 threes worth of points, and he has every single time. He had 20, so that was really not close. I had Cole Anthony more than 15.5 points and assists. He did not play. Prize Picks is good that way. Even if he had left in the first half, I would have gotten a reboot there due to injury protections that they have. So my play turned into a 4 play from a 5 play, so shout out Prize Picks for that. I had Evan Mobley less than 10.5 2-point attempts. This may sound like a random one. I will let you in on a secret. For other teams, I'll kind of just click through. You can easily look at multiple stat projections for each player and see, like, are there any where there's just been a clear trend here? And Mobley had not had 11 2-point attempts in any of his last 5 games. So I just thought, maybe we won't do that against Giannis and Myles Turner either. He had 8, so that was good. Giannis points plus rebounds. Giannis stuff is just, he's making the game look easy right now. 42.5, he had 54. And then I had Ryan Rollins, more than 9.5 points, figuring he would have to do some scoring with the point guards out. He had 14. So I can tell you right now, when I boot it up tomorrow for Bucks Knicks, I will be seeing what that A.J. Green points is. I will always check out whatever Giannis. I'll look around a little bit. Do I want points? Do I want points, assists, rebounds, points, assists, points, rebounds? Whatever number looks the best to me. And kind of consider opponent a little bit too. But Giannis has been so reliable. And then it kind of depends on like who's available on the Bucks, who's not available, who do I think can shine against a certain team, or just, does Gary Trent have a lower projection after a tough game, or do I just think he'll bounce back anyway? Spoiler alert, I do. And then for the Knicks, just kind of seeing trends within Prize Picks and what those numbers are, because you can't do all of one team, so you got to switch it up a little bit, which makes it fun as well. So Prize Picks, use code EuroStep. You get $50 when you play, $5 for the first time, win or lose for your first-time player. So use the link in our description, download Prize Picks today, sign up, use code EuroStep, and you get $50 when you play $5, whether you win or lose. Best deal in sports besides Cole Anthony on a buyout. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Seriously, though, the Memphis Grizzlies, what are we doing? We just gave away Cole Anthony.
It's crazy, right?
Just gave him away.
Crazy. They had to sign Charles Bassey to a hardship exception contract. That's how down bad the Grizzlies are.
They're 2-1. Charles Bassey. I can't. Hey, it's good business to get Charles Bassey on a hardship exception. I will give them that.
But the fact is that they have to use a hardship exception.
Yeah, it's the Grizzlies. Of course, they always have 800 injuries.
So, you know what? Thank you. Thank you, Memphis Grizzlies.
They've got Javon Small, who's 6'1", tough name there, as one of their point guards this year, a rookie.
Which is crazy, because in non-basketball spheres, that's like,
yeah, that's true.
Normal.
Yeah.
It's like pretty tall.
Well, he's
relatively.
I wonder, is he really 6'1" if he's listed 6'1" in the NBA?
Oh, no shot. He's 5'11", for sure.
Probably, yeah.
You never want to be like if you're listed at 6'1", like you are not because but if you wouldn't say you're 6 foot. No one wants to be 6 foot exactly.
Yeah, has anyone ever in NBA history been listed at 6 foot? I feel like you're either 5'8" and 5'11", or you're any other height until 6'2", and you're 6'1".
Yep.
That's so bizarre.
Can we talk about Bob?
Yeah, we have to. Let me open with a. Actually, wait. Before Bob, one more thing on the Cavs game. The Ringer Fantasy Football Show. I always have a random football pod I love it. I fall in love with. This year it's that pod. They do a segment called Fart or Shart, which in their context means negative, but it really what the idea is like, is this temporary or is this lasting?
Would it be positive? Did you?
No, it's not. It's negative, but I want to do it in a positive sense, I think. So the basis of it is like, is it a flash in the pan, a fart, or is it lasting, a shart? Do you know what I mean? Do you get it?
I understand.
Okay, just making sure. There's some confusion on their show about it. Do you think? I kind of forgot how I was going to phrase it now. I was so excited to talk about that segment. Do you think the Bucks winning those non-Giannis minutes and being in the game against the Cavs, even with all the injuries, is that a fart or a shart? So they won the.
I think it's a fart.
You don't think it'll last?
Oh wait, I said it wrong. I think it's a shart.
Yeah, I think it'll last. A good shart for some reason. It's not. This isn't a good. It wasn't a well-framed question.
No, I think it's funny. I think it's a shart for sure.
Okay.
So it's just crazy.
So funny. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna keep this segment.
I think it's really funny, and we probably should.
See what the people say.
I think it'll last because it seems like when there are non-Giannis minutes, it seems like the team has direction. In previous years, it's been okay. It's the Damian Lillard show now. It's the Drew and Chris show now. Yeah. It's it's not the Giannis show. It's the someone else show. It's not the someone else show anymore. It's just not how it operates. That's not how this team goes. And typically, with very heliocentric teams, that's not been the case for a good thing either. You look at the Nuggets without Jokic. You look at the Mavs and now the Lakers without Luka. You look at the 76ers without Embiid. Those teams have just fallen apart when those players have gone off the court. The old school Rockets without James Harden, like they would just fall off a cliff. You need that star to be in there. However, as we've talked about with this team, they have the depth of pieces to be able to be coherent in terms of NBA basketball. And with just such an influx of talent in this league nowadays, it's hard to be like just, mind-bendingly bad in certain lineup combinations, especially when you recognize that there is no star.
Yeah.
When you have Giannis off the court, you have to be able to play good basketball. And I think that's credit to Doc Rivers and his staff for being able to do that. That's not been a thing we've seen in years past. It has been a problem, the non-Giannis minutes. But now, when you actually are running team basketball and have any single one of those players, I think they've taken it to heart that any single one of those random cast members, it can be their big night. Yeah. And they try to make that happen.
These are historically the teams Doc does well with, right? Like that's kind of the random thing of Doc is like, yeah, the mismatched teams, like suddenly the Doc has them like the Shea team in OKC that went to the playoffs. That was Doc, right? Like he just like patched things together and it figures it out.
Trez.
Yeah. Some of those.
Nick Batum because he runs from he runs from Paul George.
But I think this ties into what you were wanting to talk about next, which is Big Bob. And it is honestly kind of miraculous that I think in 2 of the 3 games this year they've won the non-Giannis minutes because you had the Dame show, the Chris and Drew show, whatever. The Big Bob show. That's like his thing is to be the sixth man guy and come in and like, oh, I'm going to get 15
Is it the
points.
Big Bob show now or is it the Sideshow Bob show?
Oh, well, Robin Lopez is gone. So, and I don't think he's coming back.
Yeah.
Looks like Sideshow Bob is the joke there. But Big Bob against Cleveland is 4 of 10 with 4 turnovers. I did not know that. 4 turnovers? 8 rebounds and 4. If you turn over every other rebound, that's not good for a big man. Against Toronto, he was 5 of 13, also with 8 rebounds, no assists, 1 turnover. 1 of 5 from deep against the Raptors, 2 of 4 against the Cavs. So at least the shot looked a little better percentage-wise, but just like he just doesn't really seem to. He's not meshed well with what the Bucks are doing. My contrarian take from all the like he's got to go now, et cetera, and I'm not going to close that door immediately. I'll give him a little time. I do think he is just a player that we all know what the weaknesses are: defense in any situation, decision making, things of that nature. What he's on though, the Bucks roll in his
go
minutes.
harder, Tide.
Well,
grow some more.
Well, hey, I'll be a naysayer. Prove the naysayers wrong again, Big Bob. I've seen you do it before. I'm not going to call him Sideshow Bob. You went pretty hard with that too. But he's going to come out. He's going to have like a 6 of 8 shooting night with a couple and ones and like 3 threes, and then suddenly the whole arena's chanting, and the Bucks win his minutes by 10, and they have a blowout victory. You know what? I'll stamp it against the Knicks. Big Bob loves the home crowd. They've had 2 or 3 games on the road thus far.
Revenge game for him too.
Revenge game against the Knicks. He's going to randomly be like, I'm better than Karl Towns, and I don't think he'll outplay Karl Towns, but I think he'll have a nice game.
On any given night, that is possible.
So, especially now that the Bucks have real athletic bigs and they have a chance of guarding him, which they did not have last year. This was, I think, one of the most lopsided season series for the Bucks and Knicks, because literally outside of Giannis, nobody could guard Towns.
No,
Bob can't
not
guard
even
Towns,
a little bit,
which is like tough for Bob. He should be able to do a little better, but
that should be the guy you should be able to guard, Bob.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I want to talk about Bob, so I'm going to get. I'll do this for a little bit. That's wild. We're on a podcast, right? So it's kind of been a mix. We talked about in the offseason about how are we going to get pre-suspension Bob, or are we going to get post-suspension Bob? And once again, I find the funniest thing ever is that Bobby Portis got suspended for PEDs. I feel like that's not talked about enough in terms of how hilarious it is. I think about that sometimes. I was like, really?
You forget his defense of it was, I took the pill I got randomly from my assistant, not knowing what it was. That was
just like, really?
That
this
was
is coming
the
from a franchise that said OJ Mayo tripped and fell down the stairs. Like, this is,
they should have done that. Who was it? In what sport? Didn't someone get a concussion at home this past week?
Oh yeah, who was that?
Was that an NBA player?
I can't remember. I thought it was an NFL player.
Maybe it was an NFL player.
I could be wrong. But we were questioning whether we were going to get pre-suspension Bob in terms of, just a black hole on offense.
Trevon Diggs.
Oh, for the Cowboys.
For the Cowboys,
right? Yeah. He's the guy that he's a second-year player, gets a lot of picks, I think, right?
Probably third year now, or maybe still second year. But yeah, he had the 1 year, which picks are very volatile in the NFL, so PFF hated him the whole time. But anyway.
Yeah.
PFF hates everyone.
Yeah. Are we going to get pre-suspension Bob, black hole on offense, not setting screens, not rebounding, long twos, not spacing? Or are we going to get post-suspension Bob, who was a miracle for the Bucks and was, being more of a role threat, spacing out to the three-point line, passing out a lot, setting good screens. And it's kind of reminded me of what happens when a team, just in general, has, a strong losing streak and then turns it on later in the season. You wonder what's going to happen to this team next year. Are they going to be the good version or the bad version? And they end up being kind of in the middle of that.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what we're seeing with Bob. There's flashes of the post-suspension Bob where he's screening, he's rolling, he's getting to the rim. We see that for the first possession, and then it's just back to, face up, fade away when he should be going strong. It's shades of him going out to the three-point line in transition, and then shades of him just calling for a post-up right away. And it's like, okay, why are we having it both ways? Like, the vision is there, right? And I kind of feel like he's getting lost in the sauce a little in terms of he wants to kind of meld those two versions of himself together, but it just ends up being not great.
Yeah, I will say he is shooting 25% on wide open threes thus far, which I really don't think will persist. I remember I had the stat in one of our offseason pods, like Big Bob has shot a shocking percent on threes as a Milwaukee Buck, like 39% or something. So I do think there's probably some regression there that'll help him overall. I do think he could play better. I also think a conflating factor here is he's not being put in great positions to succeed with some of the all-bench lineups he plays with, And I'm not even opposed to all bench lineups generally for the Bucks because, again, like it's Giannis and friends. Like there's not a huge difference to me from like the third best player and the eighth best player on the Bucks. But as we've talked about in previous pods, which we didn't see last game because Kuzma was out, like the Kuzma-Bob lineup might just not work. They might just have to either stagger Giannis and Myles Turner or dash in like a hint of Jericho Sims here and there to have a real center, a real rim protector out there all the time. Giannis not really a center. But like another Bob stat, 62% of his field goals are on 0 dribbles. I generally think that's a positive. He's not dribbling the air out of the ball. I do think he seems like he's trying to take the ball up a little bit less. But
there was a possession late in the fourth when I think it was around 6 minutes left or 5 minutes left, where Giannis was still on the bench and it was Rollins and he's bringing the ball up on the left side and Bob's just posting up. He can't get anything with it as he's trying to dribble, so he just goes back. He's like, Ryan, try to go somewhere else. And Ryan's like, no, we're going right back to you, Bob. It looked like what is that, Tropic Thunder?
Yeah, Tropic Thunder, the pass in and out of the post, yeah.
It looked like that, but just a little bit slower. But they kept doing that, and then the shot clock ran out. And I'm like, okay, at some point that's not on Bobby. At some point that's
that's always been a thing we've been mad about, right? Like there's like this team ethos of like they treat Big Bob like it's like KG, like this mythical figure. Like, oh, we gotta post Big Bob 5 times a game. It's like, yeah, you might not have to, but they are.
It didn't work twice on one possession. Like, go somewhere else. Yeah. Literally go anywhere else. But at that point, they're like, oh, we don't have any time to do any other options. Like, Bob, you gotta do something. And I think Ryan Rollins ended up taking the shot anyway.
It was not a good look for the Bucks.
It wasn't. But at some point, like, it's not on Bob. I'm not here to try to say, oh, this is entirely Bobby Portis' fault. No, it's not. It's just the team setup around him as well. Like you said, he's not being put in good positions to succeed in that regard. Like, I think they're trying to still treat him like pre-suspension Bob. Like, it's pre-suspension Bob's looking at him like the Green Goblin mask at times, and Doc's holding the Green Goblin mask at times. Like, it's just like, hey, you want to do this? It's like, hey, you want to go post up. You want to. It's like, Doc, no, please. I turned into such a better player. It's like, but this is early on in the regular season. It's early on in the regular season, Bob. Don't you want to get your numbers? Don't you want to win 6th Man of the Year? It's like, Doc, you're my coach. Aren't you supposed to be helping me out here? And it just doesn't work out like that.
So the lineups thing. Giannis Portis is plus 15 in 24 minutes, which is very, very good. Portis Turner is plus 7 in 7 minutes, which is also very, very good. Portis Kuzma minus 16 in 28 minutes, which is very, very bad.
It's bad. Just
really
abysmal.
Bad.
It's the one matchup where you could look at that and say, I don't know how this is going to work. And then it just doesn't work.
The Portis Sims has also been bad, though, but it's only been 8 minutes, so I'd probably try that more. But just play him with Giannis or Turner, and I think
Portis Sims has proven to be a solid combination.
It was pretty good last year. It wasn't a huge sample, but it was pretty good last year.
It was just the playoffs.
Yeah. Jericho dunk was nice, by the way.
First field goal of the season for Jericho.
Everyone acts surprised. I see like, oh, Jericho Sims. Like, yeah, of course Jericho Sims hasn't scored. Do you watch Jericho? Like, I don't know. Maybe people just get a kick out of it, but I almost see like it's criticism. Like you expect Jericho Sims to average a double-double.
No, that'd be insane.
Yeah, he doesn't shoot the basketball. He
also, this is his first real playing time he had.
Yeah. I think in the preseason maybe he scored once, but again, it's Jericho.
He did. It was that one dunk we talked about.
It's just like if Ajax was actually a big. What do you think of the real Ajax minutes? We got a mismatch of random minutes against the Cavs just because they were out of place. I
didn't hate it.
Yeah,
I thought the Ajax they looked decent. Like this proves the depth of the team, where it's like, oh, these are just 2 solid defenders who are just at the end of the bench for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah,
who are good to have if you need them. And they went to them because they needed them.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. I agree with you on AJ. Just did absolutely. He had 1 steal. That was his only stat. But they were plus 2 in his 5 minutes. The Sims minutes were
rough.
Bad. Or the Steers. No, it wasn't bad. The Steers minutes were tough. I expected more. I'm not going to totally write him off, but my thing with Sears is you're never going to be good defensively because you're small. Probably listed 6'1", but not. I don't think he even is. I think that would even be too far of a gap to bridge. But you've got to be an effective offensive player. You can get some steals, you have some splash plays, but you're never going to be a net positive defender. But you have to be a positive offensive player. I hoped his pedigree from Alabama would help. He was 0 of 1 with a turnover.
Listed at 6 foot.
Oh, he is?
Yep.
That's why he's not
how you know
successful.
it's bad.
Yeah, he should go to 5'11", he'd be better. He had 0 positive plays. His only stats were a turnover, a foul, and a missed shot. He got 7.5 minutes. And I like the idea. I liked giving him some burn. They clearly needed point guards. I didn't think they'd go right to him. They went to him before Ajax.
He was the second string point guard in this game.
And then
remember, Ajax is a center now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he wasn't. Then it was like, okay, Ajax.
No, yeah, Ajax, your turn. Amir Coffee, like whoever else. Please, somebody.
I thought they were going to bring Gary Harrison.
Bob's like, me? And they're like, no, not you. Yeah, I guess we did get some insight on rotation thoughts from Doc here. Even with all the players out, Gary Harris, they're just like, no, go sit by Thanasis.
I think Gary Harris is fine with that.
Seems like it. And then Pete Nance was active, but I think if somebody blew out, they probably would have let him play, but it was close. So because it was the Nance Bowl, Larry Nance Sr. was there, and Larry Nance Jr. is back on the Cavs.
I was really hoping they would get at least a minute or something, because this is the first time that they had ever actually played against each other in a game.
Yeah.
Like in any level, because Larry Jr. is just that much older.
Is this problematic? I'm glad Larry Sr. is still with us. I feel like the way Larry Sr. is talked about would lead you to think he's not. I don't know why.
I shouldn't lie. I am also glad that he's still with us.
But you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like he's talked about
that old.
No, it's just like I've never heard from him. I've never seen him before, and every time someone talks about him, it's like so glowingly that I'm like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know one way or the other.
He's 66.
Listen, I'm glad. I didn't know one way or the other. I had never looked it up. It wasn't a thing I wondered about that much. But you know what I mean? Like when your Q score is above a certain point, it's almost like, oh, like wow. And for a player who, like, his numbers retired, he was obviously a great player, but not like a, top 15 all time great player.
Yeah.
Just one of those guys that, like, everyone talked like, oh my God, Larry Sr., a legend, Cleveland legend, everything else. Never heard someone say a bad thing about him. But anyway, good for the Nance family. They got a nice photo op. Yeah, they did not all play in the game, unfortunately. But yeah.
You know what you need to do in those situations? You need to do it with like 30 seconds left in the second quarter. Yeah. Where it's like kind of inconsequential. Where it's like those 30 seconds are going to win you or lose you the game because you have an entire half of basketball left. That's when you need to do it, because you don't know what's going to happen at the end of the game. It's Alex
Antetokounmpo's fault. Because Doc can't start a precedent of like, I'm going to coordinate rotations around these brothers for brother situations. He already got asked about, will the three Antetokounmpos play together? And he's like, I have not thought about that at all. I feel like you don't want your season to become like familial ties this season.
No, but here's the thing. You have to frame it like it's Kenny Atkinson asking. He's like, Kenny, he really wanted to get the Nance brothers in there together. Like, you got to frame it like that.
I guess that would be the end of it, right? I don't think there's any other. They don't have any holidays or Plumleys or anything. So I guess you could do it twice and be done with it, but.
It's just that. You have to do it. Now you have to do it the next time. I mean, I guess they have like, what, three more opportunities to do it?
Yeah.
Can we talk about AJ Green?
Yeah.
So here's my thing with AJ Green. If we're talking trends, because now we're 3 games in.
3 whole games.
Three's a trend.
I got season stats pulled up now. Let's go.
I don't think the Bucks fully understood how much teams were going to attack AJ.
Okay. That's where you're going. Okay.
I really didn't. I don't think they did.
Yeah.
Because to be able to start him at the 3 consistently, you have to be able to show that he's not going to get in foul trouble right away. And he's getting fouls minutes into every game. Every game, like, without a doubt. Just these ticky-tack small fouls. And it's like, you've got to be better than that, AJ. One, it's a respect thing. It's 2 parts of it. One, he's not getting the respect he deserves. And 2, he's just being dumb sometimes. Like, you can't just play yourself out of these games sometimes, because he has the ability to just be an absolute flamethrower. We see 20 points, second leading scorer in this game against the Cavaliers, and he's playing. I mean, credit to him, he played 31 minutes in this game. But early on, you couldn't play a lot because you're starting to get into foul trouble. It's been a problem in all 3 games.
I don't know. I mean, he definitely is being attacked.
He can't play high first half minutes. What did he play in the first half? He played 13 minutes in the first half, 17 in the second.
He's averaging 3 fouls a game, which is third. It's right in the middle of their starters. He's averaging fewer fouls.
You 2 of those are in the first half, always.
Well, I mean, I don't play him more. If he fouls out, he fouls out.
Too.
Yeah.
I think that's been our shared philosophy. Like you're giving them another foul by not playing.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree with that.
I think they should also probably run more plays for him because you're not getting as much out of him as you could be on offense for what you're giving up on defense, which I do think has probably been you're giving up more fouls than I think he's actually getting beat at this point. I don't think it's been so. Oh my God, they can't defend with him. They're still, the other thing is they're winning his minutes by quite a lot, which again, it's a lot of them are with Giannis. It's not the end all be all, but they're losing Trent's minutes, which I don't think is a big Trent problem, but I'm just saying starters can lose their minutes on this team. They're plus 20 and 84 AJ Green minutes, which is third on the team behind Turner and then Giannis, who's the highest, of course. And he's playing really well offensively. I think he should foul less, but I also think 2 first half fouls shouldn't limit your minutes that much. Some of that is on Doc to a certain extent. But
I'm not saying this is all AJ's fault.
No, but I see where you're coming from.
Which is tough because he has been such a good fit offensively, right? He's doing everything we could have ever expected him to do offensively.
I think. Except
dribble. You still suck at that, AJ.
I think outside Giannis doing anything is the Bucks' number one. We can always go to this and get a high EV, high expected value possession. Literally, they can run AJ Green off a pin down anywhere with anyone on the floor, and it's probably generating 1 point something points per possession. It's their second most reliable thing they can go to is AJ run around to anybody and just shoot it no matter how open you are. He had a step back on Jared Allen that was nasty.
I was literally about
After
to bring that up. You don't even have to run
earlier.
Stuff for him at times. You can just give him the ball in either corner, and he'll be able to take that
he's got a nice sidestep, step back too. I think
Jared Allen's face after he hit that shot was so funny.
Well, that was a big moment for him because he passed out of that same exact situation earlier in the game, and Marcus Johnson, Bucks broadcaster, legend, should be Hall of Famer, didn't like that he passed out of it, friend of the pod. And then he didn't pass out of it the next time, which was, I think, very good. So I see where you're coming from with AJ. He needs to work on the first half fouling. So it's tough though because some of it is reputational, and I do think the Bucks are trying to be an aggressive team that forces turnovers, and you're gonna foul sometimes if you do that.
You gotta send in that AJ Green film. You gotta do that.
I think they send it a lot, but it's not worked to this point.
Wasn't there a thing where it's the Bucks are one of the teams that sends the most film to the NBA office?
I think Daryl Morey always leads it, but then
I was gonna say it was Daryl Morey up top, but then the Bucks were up there. This is a few years ago, obviously, so things probably have changed. I think OKC was top last year.
Yeah.
But I just think it's very funny. They need to not for Giannis. They got to send it for AJ Green.
Yeah. Well, they can send it for Giannis too.
That'd be awesome.
AJ
Giannis is awesome, by the way.
Giannis is?
Yeah, he's just awesome.
I agree. I'm pulling it up now. AJ has fouled exactly 2 times in the first half of all 3 games.
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying.
And then in the second half, he has had 1 against Washington, 0 against Toronto, 2 against Cleveland.
Yeah. So just clean it up in the first half, AJ, and then you're fine. Because
what? No. 2 fouls and a half is totally fine.
But then they take him out.
At all. But that's not on him. I think you should. If you're an NBA player and you play a lot, your goal should be 2 or less fouls per half.
Yeah.
1 foul per quarter, I have no issue with if you're playing defense. And he is having to guard a lot of real players.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's a thing. It's a little overblown. Now I'm pulling up first quarter in particular. Let's see. Yeah, he's had 2 fouls in the first quarter twice. That's too much. I'll give you that. Because that then influences the coaching staff. Just push the second foul back 1 quarter, and I don't think it impacts your rotation at all.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. That's the way it works. But I actually kind of get it from the coaching staff too, because you're like, I need to take this guy out now, or he's going to have 4 fouls in the first quarter, and then he's just DOA.
Yeah.
But also, I thought Kenny Atkinson playing Evan Mobley through 5 fouls, basically the whole fourth quarter, is probably why they won that game. So also something to learn from there. But it's a good point, Rohan. He needs to foul less. / they could really use a true 3-and-D small forward, which I don't know where they're going to get one, but it would be nice.
Ooh, is it now shifting to Bobby for Andrew Wiggins?
Sure. That salaries don't work there, but sure.
No, not even close.
Yeah.
Oh, Wiggins, he's like my version of...
I haven't had one of these guys in a while.
Biz?
No, Biz isn't good enough. I'm trying, probably RJ Barrett this summer. I feel like I really pined for RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
Even though he's not that great of a defender, but he's fits
DeMar pre-Dame.
Yeah. Yeah, Newmark put in today, should they trade for DeMar? I think or someone did in our Discord. Maybe Newmark said yes, someone else asked. I probably wouldn't do it. After watching this team, I think I'm good.
It does not go for what this team is really excelling at and why they're playing well.
I'd way rather have Dylan Brooks.
I was going to say Chris Middleton, but...
Yeah, I mean, Chris Middleton for free, if we're talking trades.
Chris Middleton for free off the bench.
Yeah. Which I don't know if he'd want. It's another bridge to cross.
Should we do our nominees for Eastern Conference Player of the Week?
I only have one.
I have some nominees for Eastern Conference.
I have some
just because it's really funny.
Yeah, let's start with Giannis. Do you mind?
No, we're ending with Giannis.
Okay, all right.
My first nominee for Eastern Conference Player of the Week is Cam Thomas.
Okay.
Just a horrendous Brooklyn team and a horrendous chucker, and I just think it's funny. I think it's funny to be able to say Cam Thomas is averaging almost 30 a game and is a minus 12.3.
I was gonna say it's the worst plus minus of anyone scoring 20 points per game in the East.
He's a minus 37 in all 3 games in 90 minutes.
Per game average, second worst. Porzingis is minus 11, but it's just he's only played 1 game thus far.
So that's my first nominee. We'll go with who's your first nominee?
I'll do a real one. So here's the thing: we're doing this year. We're doing for the NBA award. We're not picking ours, and they overvalue win-loss for this. So I think Maxey has a shot, but I want to start with LaMelo Ball, who is averaging 28 points, 9.7 assists, 8.3 rebounds, and 2 steals, shooting 48% from the field, 42% from 3. The Hornets are 2-1.
It's crazy.
I think he's one of 3 or 4 players with an actual somewhat shot.
Didn't I take the over on the Hornets? I mean, it's I'm not victory lapping this now. But absolutely not.
No, the way he's playing though, he looks like a serious player. I think I took the under because I was like, even if he plays, I don't know if he's a serious player. He's diving for loose balls and stuff. He's a real player right now this year, and he looks amazing. So yeah, that over looks good.
Okay, I have a second fake nominee just because it's funny.
Yeah,
and that's Jaylen Brown's hairline.
Nice
for Eastern Conference Player of the Week.
Really impactful. Really rubs off on you.
It's just a strong performance.
Is
that one of the funniest things that's one of the funniest things I've seen in years.
Yeah. So if anyone doesn't know, Jaylen Brown, who's he against? OG?
OG.
Dribbling against OG Anunoby, kind of his head hits OG's torso and wearing the white Knicks jersey. And just a huge hairline shaped stain appears immediately on OG's jersey after Jaylen makes contact with him head to chest.
Just so funny. So funny.
Yeah.
Okay, my serious one is Maxey.
Yeah.
The Sixers have only played 2 games. They're 2-0, and that backcourt looks incredible.
He and Edgecombe are both top 10 in points per game for Eastern Conference players thus far. Edgecombe, it's mostly the one amazing game, but they both look really good. They won a game where Joel was terrible, which historically has not happened much. Yeah. and decent.
It was
minutes.
game one. That was where Edgecombe had 30 something.
Yeah, he had a better. Joel had a better game too. But yeah, the Sixers look. I mean, if they stay healthy, which we've all said for a million years, they look pretty good. Also, though, Maxey, 41 minutes per game, averaging 34, shooting 60% from three, and they're +3 per game in his minutes, which probably not the most sustainable stuff happening there. But yeah, he's been really
probably
good.
Not.
The other one, the famous guards who are playing well, Brunson and Mitchell are both averaging 30. Their teams are both 2-1. So I think in consideration, but is that really? That's probably it. I mean, Mathurin and Siakam had big games for the Pacers, but they're 0-3, and there's just no shot the NBA is going to give. 0-3.
Yeah. They're 0-3. Sorry.
Yes, Mathurin only played in 2, but they lost.
A game, yeah.
They lost to the Jawless Grizzlies, I think. They're without a lot of players. They're really banged up, but 0-3 start for Indiana.
But it's Giannis.
Yeah. Again, we said it earlier. A historic performance through 3 games. No one's ever done it before. The Bucks are 2-1 in a close loss to the Cavs. And the full stat line here per game.
36, 16, and 7. On 68.3% shooting from the field, 66.7% from 3, 62.9%.
That's actually, we'll take that.
It's higher than last year.
Yeah, I mean, it starts with a 6. It's progress. 65%, I won't complain at all.
No. I mean, I'll complain a little still. Come on, man.
Yeah. All right.
But just absolutely dominant.
Yeah.
Front runner for MVP right now? No, it's probably Luka.
I refuse to answer front runner for MVP question on October 27th, Rohan. But Luka is averaging 46, 11, and 8.5 assists, which is bonkers. Also 2-1. Shea would probably be the combo. 3-0. He's averaging 46 and 5. Despite shooting 22% from 3, he's still averaging 40.
Yeah, because he's averaging 12 made free throws a game.
He's taking 0.2 more than Luka per game. So if we're going to talk about it with Shea, yeah,
I was literally about to say close behind him is Luka at 11.5.
Austin Reeves, 12 free throws attempted per game. The Lakers are despicable.
It's. Can you imagine if AJ Green had Austin Reeves' respect?
It would be nice if he had his dribble package too.
It'd be awesome.
Benedict Mathurin randomly averaging 13 attempted free throws per game. And Zion's at 14. Crazy. Zion's been looking decent. If you sort the NBA by points per game right now, Aaron Gordon is 6th, just ahead of Steph Curry and Victor Wembanyama. Also, Wemby's in the conversation for MVP too. They are 3-0. He's averaging 33, 13 rebounds, only 2 assists, 6 blocks per game. 18 blocks in 3 games? Yeah, okay.
And it's funny enough, they were all on Zion in a 5 minutes. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But no, our Eastern Conference Player of the Week goes to Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I think it will be. I think it will be. We'll pick ours every week, and we can say, do we think who will actually win? I think it will be Giannis.
Yeah.
I don't think 2-0 is good. I don't think 2-0 is appreciably better than 2-1. If Maxey was 3-0, I think they might, but I think it's going to be Giannis.
Yeah, I think so. The Bucks have their first NBC game coming up on Tuesday against the New York Knicks, so they have a little bit of a home stretch here. Gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it. Woo! They come back from this 2-game road trip and have a 3-game homestand. They play the Knicks at home, like I said, on Tuesday. The Warriors come to town on Thursday, and then the Kings are in town on Saturday for a 4 p.m. start. Sure, why not?
Weird.
It's never 4.
Yeah, 4.
Why is it 4?
4 in Milwaukee, 4 p.m. Central.
On a Saturday.
On Saturday. College football?
That's so odd.
I don't know.
Is something else going?
What day is that? The coming Saturday? So it's
Yeah, the 1st.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Halloween? No, it doesn't.
No.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
It's a
weird time. Oh, is it just a random European thing? No, because that's still a bad time. No, it's still 10 p.m.
Yeah.
It's 10 p.m. and in the farthest west time zone. That makes no sense.
I don't understand. But they do have that 3-game homestand. The Knicks are the biggest test. You need to be able, like we want to say, they did not win a game against the Knicks or the Cavs last season. You want to get off to a strong start and be able to, test yourself out against these powers of the Eastern Conference. They did not win against the Cavs. They have 3 more opportunities to do that. But, you got to take this Knicks game seriously, especially with Mike Tirico, Maria Taylor in town. You got to Carmelo Anthony. You got to make a difference. Melo likes Giannis, which is cool.
He does. I'm excited for this game. I'm predicting the Bobby Portis game. So hopefully, Big Bob, keep me as a non-naysayer. I've decided to not naysay, but I will naysay again if you let me down. I sound like Stephen A now. You do not want to make an enemy of me, LeBron.
One of the funniest things. It's like, be a man, confront me about it. It's like, he did. and you cried about it. That's why this all started, because he actually did something about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah. Nice to be with you guys on this Monday again, as we will be for every Monday throughout the season. But we'll say thank you for listening to this episode of the Eurostep here on Blue Wire and GSPN, presented by our amazing, wonderful friends over at Prize Picks. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you're listening to or watching this podcast platform of choice, or YouTube. 5-star rating and review. Like the video. Engage in the comments. Pod random. We'll talk to you next time.